It comes out. Then we can stream tomorrow.
Yeah, we can stream tomorrow. Oh, I need to text. Because Eliza helped me in the bathroom today.
Huh?
Eliza helped me in the bathroom today.
You were in the bathroom.
No, I'm saying Eliza helped me.
Oh.
I'm sure this. See.
You like to do that then?
Hi, how are you doing? Now it just not. That's okay. Hi, how are you doing? I wanted to say thank you for your help today. I wish that we could just hang out more, because let's speak a little bit. They don't have anything to do with her at Unity. I mean, I wanted to get on the dance floor and dance a little bit, but I couldn't do that because of our tables and those. They don't have anything to do with her at Unity. I mean, I wanted to get on the dance floor. Are you on the stream right now?
Yeah, no. Who are you talking to? Eliza? Yes. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking to? Yeah, no. Who are you talking to? Yes. Can you please stop that so we can start like annoying?
I can't.
Yeah, who are you talking to? Yes. Can you please stop that so we can start like annoying?
I can't.
Yeah.
Reason why we can't do anything? Point B. Exactly. Yes. This I did hate my leg all day and yesterday. We're still gonna come back on. Coming back on. Yeah. And can you come now? Hey, I think that was me that was doing it because when you got off and stuff, I had it on with me. So
Oh,
I
okay.
think it was mine. It wasn't yours.
Yeah.
Do you like doing it with me? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I love you.
Do you like to do that?
This is you, have you ever had like a person that you could call
Who are you talking to now?
no, I'm still talking to
Oh.
your wife, but something weird happened. Her thing lit up. That only happens when you're friends with each other.
Push me. Sorry.
So it's her thing is so like her call thing.
Me?
Yeah, her call thing.
I don't know.
It's weird.
It is weird.
It's weird like that.
Yeah, it is weird.
The, so yeah, you had the string going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. Did you accidentally hit it?
Did you want it to start?
No, I mean, did you accidentally hit the?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened because when you got off, and I'm like, dude, it's alright.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm making homemade cookies on Wednesday.
You're making homemade cookies.
We're making homemade cookies from scratch on Wednesday because the college has a swing bake, so we're not going out. So we're gonna do something fun.
Yeah, good going.
It's gonna be fun, like making homemade cookies. I only made homemade cookies one time. And want to know a story? Courtney tried. Yeah, it didn't turn well. It tastes nasty, and they were hard as
Brown?
they didn't turn out.
They turned brown.
They were all like brown, and then we traced them, and they didn't taste like cookies. They taste like she forgot a ingredient or something. It tastes really nasty. It tastes like chalk. It tastes like chocolate.
Be- Sorry, I'm trying to refresh record that because the stream kind of messed it up.
Oh, sorry.
I wish I we could have hung out a little bit more because there was nothing to do. I mean, Unity, well, there was music, but Unity didn't move the table. Like, nobody moved the tables. And I don't know about you, but I'm not weaving through tables just to get to a dance floor. You know what I mean? Oh, and you want to say hi to her?
Hi, Liza. That's who you're talking to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was get sure I don't want to call you.
You because you didn't show up at the party. She thought that you go to all the parties.
Is she thought that?
Yeah.
I wish I could have.
She texted
And stuff.
you on Facebook.
When I go to arcade, I will. Go to arcade next year.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yep. Um, and I told her like, you get messages from her. You get messages from her,
From who?
Elijah.
Do I?
She says you talk. You says she talks to you on Facebook.
I haven't talked to her. I might have talked to her. Not recently.
So what do you want to do?
I don't know. Teddy 728.
Hey,
Just letting you
I
know.
know.
Like,
I don't believe you do.
okay.
It's a short thing, but this will last us until like 7 years. But remember to put this on the stream.
Okay. Yeah, got a good idea.
Legends of Tomorrow, episode 1.
You're gonna watch that in the stream?
No, there's a review for it.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
Let me see what this is. Really fast. How? Somebody might have recorded it. Put it on YouTube. You know?
Yeah.
It's on YouTube.
Huh. Yeah.
I hope that we don't get stuck in tomorrow for stupid strike.
Oh, no.
Come on, stupid things. And as things go, I'm going to get off. Like, as things go, I'm going to, like, this is another show that I need to watch all the episodes too.
What, the Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good show.
The only reason I watched it off that thing was to watch the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just thinking about just doing, those Christmas specials on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, after I watch Power Rangers and stuff.
Okay. That sounds cool.
That reminds me, I need to find Dimension W for us.
Okay.
Come on, stupid thing. Okay, screen share that. Put it on the screen.
Yes, Mom. Dad?
There.
Here?
Aaron.
Where am I?
Hello.
Maybe to where am I to you?
Yeah, you're nice. And it's a short thing, so we could do something.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Am I your girlfriend?
Yes, you are. Oh, remind me tomorrow to watch it.
Okay.
Because I kind of forgot to. I ran out of the house without putting on watch.
You ran to the house.
Yeah.
When did you run to the house this morning?
Plants may have their limits. Imagination doesn't.
Yeah.
With the right nourishment, patience, care.
Did you say something?
Yeah, this morning. I ran out of the house this morning without putting it on.
It's alright. Yeah.
I forgot.
Okay, it happens.
Put
Hey,
Like,
I'm.
put it on you so it doesn't bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too. I love you too.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be my Legends of Tomorrow episode 1 video. The first 2 episodes are kind of a 2-parter, but they're airing them week to week. So next week will be part 2. Just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. There is a new round of the reverse flash ring giveaway. It is DC week, so of course I'm going to do a couple of giveaways. All you have to do to enter that is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So because this is such a huge deal, I'm just going to do a top 10 WTF instead of my normal top 5. Starting with number 10. Vandal Savage has conquered the Earth, and we don't even know how he's come back yet. As Rip Hunter explains, unless Hawkman or Hawkgirl delivers the death blow to Vandal Savage, he can be regenerated from a single cell. So I'm assuming at the end of Arrow Episode 8, during the big Flash Arrow crossover, when they killed him, Merlin scooped his ashes up, he was able to regenerate from one of those ashes. I don't know if that happened on its own. I don't know if they're going to show that in a scene. It'd actually be pretty cool. But we also learned, number 9 WTF, that Vandal Savage kills Rip Hunter's son in that first episode. So after all the terrible things that Vandal Savage has done, that's the straw that broke the camel's back, where Rip Hunter's like, I'm calling bullshit, this isn't happening anymore, I have to fix this. So he breaks from the Time Masters. I know it sounds very familiar, very Doctor Who type plotline, where the Doctor rebels against the Time Lords. Rip Hunter rebels against the Time Masters. There are going to be a whole lot of Doctor Who jokes this season. And on a number 7 WTF, as you'd expect, the Time Masters only care about preserving the timeline, not about preserving humanity. I'm assuming they would extend that courtesy to any other group.
What?
I was going to say, I want to tell you something.
Tell me.
That's part of the reason I like the show. Because of anything that has to do with time travel, anything that has to do with time travel, dimension travel, I'm
Yeah, funny.
I love you.
Yeah, me too. Love you too.
I love you.
Love you too.
Ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bless you.
The universe. Now, they haven't really addressed the multiverse on Legends of Tomorrow yet, but because it's so far into the future, they're probably going to know about it. When the Time Master said, what if in stopping Vandal Savage, we leave the Earth vulnerable to an even bigger villain? Who did you guys think of? I immediately shot to Darkseid. What villain is bigger than Darkseid, the forces of Apocalypse, other than maybe the cosmic entity Death? On to my number 6 WTF. So Rip Hunter goes around collecting all these people. We get
When are you starting? Okay, I know you started in March. When are you starting? What day? When's the date that you're starting? Sorry, my grandpa wanted to know because March is tomorrow. She said she would start Mariah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going. And subscribe to him. You might find him interesting.
It's working with Arrow, trying to do Hive stuff as part of Arrow's ongoing season 4 plot. Captain Cold, Heatwave, stealing minivans from young fathers in the middle of the night, the Canary in Beirut in a very Raiders of the Ark type bar. When he takes them to that rooftop scene, I know it looks familiar from the trailer that they aired way long time ago at the beginning of the year. But that was actually a promo that they had the Flash and Arrow in, like Oliver and Barry. That was only for the purposes of selling the show. They put their big characters in there so people would get excited. They explained that now that they don't need them, now that the show's already a big deal, the networks really love it. They already picked it up for a full season. They don't need Flash and Arrow as much. I mean, we got Oliver in the episode. But they basically reshot that whole scene with just the team that Rip Hunter is assembling. But really, the emotional through line for me begins with number 5 WTF. Ray Palmer wants his life to mean something. He has that speech with Oliver. I died and nothing happened. I'm a billionaire. Look at all the crazy stuff I've accomplished and nobody cared. Nobody noticed. So I have a chance to save the world. I'm going to take it. It's kind of the same deal with all the other characters. They have their own funny versions of that conversation where it's dude, I got to do this. Or in the case of pairings where one of them is reluctant, the other one's dude, we got to do this. Hawkman and Hawkgirl, hey, let's duke this out. Winner gets to decide what we do. There's a certain purity to Hawkman and Hawkgirl, like fighting to solve their disputes. Winner gets to decide, and it's absolute. Like, they're totally pure about it. Like, you don't see Hawkgirl being bitter about losing. Like, I can't believe I lost. I didn't want to come. She completely accepts it. It's the Warrior's Code. And it seems like, as of right now, like in the timeline, I'm assuming it's present day. Just assume this is happening in real time with Arrow and Flash. She still doesn't remember everything. So she's probably just going to learn new things. Like, she met her son during the episode. She's probably going to continue to remember things through the season. Sarah, on the other side of that coin, too, is also still experiencing bloodlust. It's the show's way of acknowledging all the stuff that happened to the characters in the past year. Like, they went through some crazy stuff, and they're not just going to completely wipe the slate clean just because they started a new TV show. Favorite funny moment right before they got on the ship is probably Martin Stein drugging Jackson, though, just knocking him out. Just like, oh, okay, so you don't want to go. I totally respect that. Here, let's toast to the future. Boom, down for the count. I like that bit of darkness in the fact that he just kind of brushes Ray Palmer off.
Okay.
And ask her what's up.
Hey, Cortana. What's up?
I can't connect at the moment. Try again in a little bit.
Do it again.
Hey, Cortana. What's up?
I can't connect at the moment. Try again in a little bit.
Do it again.
Hey, Cortana. What's up?
I can't connect at the moment. Try again in a little bit.
Okay, use the microphone.
What's up? Hey, Cortana, what's up? What's up? What's up?
I can't connect at the moment.
I don't know
Try
what the
again
heck
in a
is
little
going
bit.
on with her. So,
Okay. I'll voice record it because it's pretty cool.
you did voice record, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'll do it again.
You to come back?
No, finish this and then do it.
You staying now? It's already 7:41. Just saying.
Finish this and then I'll do it.
Yeah, you were my student. No, I don't remember you at all. But also in the comics, Ray Palmer is a
Right.
professor at Ivy University. Ronnie Raymond, Ronnie Raymond from Firestorm, is one of his students. The number 4 WTF, meet the Wave Rider. And Gideon is the computer, the same Gideon it sounds like that the Reverse Flash is using. This is also a really awesome wrinkle. Like, the Gideon stuff is like its own separate thing we have to talk about. The Wave Rider, though, obviously named after the Wave Rider character from the comics, also a time traveler. The origin story for the Wave Rider character sounds mysteriously like the plot of Legends of Tomorrow. So in the far future, a character named Matthew Ryder, who's a scientist, wants to stop this big dictator that's taken over named the Monarch. So he builds a time ship, goes back in time, and tries to find Monarch as a child so he can end his reign of terror before it ever starts. So that's
That kind of reminds me of Davros.
Rip Hunter. So you can see how they're honoring the comics in that way. But later, DC changed Wave Rider's backstory and made him a version of Booster Gold. Booster Gold ended up becoming Wave Rider. If you want to read the story of Rip Hunter turning Booster Gold into Wave Rider, that was during Convergence. His powers are actually pretty cool. He can he can touch you. He can see your timeline just by making physical contact with you. There's a whole bunch of other stuff he can do, but just think of his powers as being like the time ship with the addition of Gideon. Gideon, though, let's talk about Gideon. So during Flash Season 1, Morena Baccarin, who's also on Gotham and on a ton of other shows, she's in the Deadpool movie too. She was the voice of the Gideon computer that the Reverse Flash was using. But Season 2, And on Legends of Tomorrow, it's a different actress doing the voice. I haven't been able to find out who the actress is, but if I learn before next week's video, I'll mention it in my next Legends of Tomorrow video. For those of you asking, the Reverse Flash is coming back to the Flash next week, the Eobard Thawne Reverse Flash. At the end of last week's episode, he pulls Gideon out, and it's like, where the hell am I, Gideon? What time period am I in? We don't know if Gideon is a singular entity that just transfers its matrix between places, or if Gideon is like a mass-produced type of computer. I'm guessing it's like a special thing. And Eobard Thawne in season 1 said that he was from about 150 years in the future, which is about the time Vandal Savage has conquered the Earth. So I'm wondering how they're going to weave those two plot points together. It's hard enough explaining continuity between shows in modern day, but when you add time travel into it, like changing the timeline, it gets really complicated. So we'll have to wait till next week's episode of The Flash to see, where Eobard Thawne is from in the future, and if same thing that's going on in Legends of Tomorrow with Vandal Savage.
You say so.
Like, I'm able to keep track of stuff.
Yeah.
But when you're like into continuity of shows and stuff,
Yeah.
it just makes it harder,
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Gone.
Yes.
Savage is also affecting his timeline. On to my number 3 WTF. Hawkman and Hawkgirl meet their son, who he says was born from around World War I, when their names were Boardman. He's Professor Boardman. St. Rox is actually one of the home cities of Hawkman and Hawkgirl in the comics. So you get this really touching family moment, like part of the emotional through line of the episode where Hawkgirl, just like some things click in her brain, and she's like, okay, I understand now. And he ends up giving her the medallion at the end of the episode. My mother gave this to me. So I kind of like the way they dealt with this, where the professor is a rational person. He's like, you told me that this might happen. I might run into you in the future. You died when I was about 10 years old. They didn't make it too wishy-washy. Like, they completely dealt with it in that first episode. I mean, Hawkgirl is still going to be remembering things from her past in the next couple of episodes. They'll still talk about their son a little bit. But now in her mind, she is more fully that Hawkgirl character. I really like all the Hawkman, Hawkgirl scenes in this episode. I like the pair together, the actors that play Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I feel Hawkman is slowly growing on me. I feel like some of his dialogue sticks in his mouth. Like they reduce the amount of dialogue he has just because it doesn't sound quite as good coming out of him. So looking forward to more Hawkman smashing things, just as long as they avoid really long Hawkman speeches. I feel like they'll be fine. Thankfully, they also address the self-fulfilling prophecy, where it's like, our son is going to die in 24 hours. We have to take him with us. So naturally, your trying to change the timeline brings about the very event that you're trying to avoid. So it's like the idea of a fixed point in time, something that you can't change. And actually, they addressed it in season 1 of The Flash, where Barry goes back in time the first time. The Reverse Flash, actually, Eobard Thawne tells him, if you try to change something to avoid a really bad event, time will find a way to replace that with something equally bad, if not worse. It's one of my number 2 WTF. Something equally worse comes along. Kronos, Boba Fett, however you want to think about him, Darth Vader. I know there was some confusion. When he showed up the first time in that parking lot, that was in present day. A lot of people were like, hey, wait, if they're in 1975, then how did those dudes know about Darth Vader? Because that movie didn't come out till 77. No, the dudes, when they made the Darth Vader reference, they were still in present day. Kronos in the comics is actually an Atom villain. He's still a time traveler. His costume looks like this. So, they changed the character a little bit. But he's more of a silly time traveling.
Can I tell you?
As the TV show is portraying, who is actually, turns out, working
Huh?
Leonard Snart is like, we go out for one lousy drink and you guys pick a fight with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
man, this is gonna be funny because this is gonna be a funny show to get into.
Yeah.
That right now.
You okay there? You okay? Are you okay there?
Look at that voice recorder.
Okay. Are you okay though?
Yeah.
Okay.
From one lousy drink, you guys pick a fight with Boba Fett.
Hello.
There's like humor.
Huh?
There's like the time realm humor and like, you know.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
Yes. You're funny.
Don't worry, I'm keeping track of them.
I am too. It's 7:48. Now it's 7:49. You still have a little time on you.
Trying to track down Rip Hunter and bring him back, which is where we get to our number one WTF. Rip Hunter lied to them all. He picked them because their lives mean zero to the timeline. They are the opposite of Legends. That's where the show stops being like a Justice Society type team up or Justice League team up and becomes more of a Suicide Squad situation. People with a particular set of skills that nobody else gives a damn about. Although that's not technically true. They all have their friends, but time itself does not give a damn about them. So they are expendable. If they die in this mission, it won't matter. It won't make a bit of difference. Like I said, though, this is just the first part of a two-part episode. It's just they're calling it like a 2-hour pilot that they're just airing in 2 different parts. So they'll finish this initial storyline next week. They'll probably deal with the Kronos character. There are a bunch of big DC characters that are showing up in future episodes. Like Jonah Hex is the biggest one they just announced. He's going to show up when they go back into the Wild West. So they'll be jumping around in time, seeing really interesting characters from DC's history, from the past and from the future. And yes, Constantine can totally come on season 2.
Holy crap.
Which they haven't done yet. They're only doing 16 episodes.
What?
They've shot
Yes.
about 11 of them so far. So I think once they get towards the...
What?
You know who Jonah Hex is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm getting off of YouTube, so I just don't forget. Off of Explorer because, like, it's late anyway.
Yeah.
And
I'm just like,
probably start talking about
Yeah.
season 2, whether it's going to happen, whether it's not going to happen, if they're going to change things. But let me know, what's your favorite thing about the episode, and where do you want to see them go next? Now, keep in mind, there are 16 episodes, so they're going to be going to a lot of different places. We'll get to see Connor Hawk, all kinds of awesome stuff. So congratulations to this week's giveaway winner, Lewis John. You win the reverse flash ring from the last couple of videos that I've been doing. Just be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I get your contact info. I'll announce the next winner whenever I post my next DC video. So I'll be doing like some Suicide Squad, Justice League, Wonder Woman, like DC movie related videos too over the weekend. You may have seen me posting about it on Twitter this morning, but they just revealed what Vixen's costume is going to look like on Arrow. It totally looks like it does in the comics. If you don't know, she had an animated series. There was the option for it to go to live action, or her to go on Arrow or Legends of Tomorrow. They decided to bring her on Arrow, and I think it's going to be episode 15, so it should be in a couple weeks. It'll be a lot of fun. But they are doing a season 2 of the cartoon series. We'll talk more about it whenever we get to that Vixen episode on Arrow in a couple weeks. There's a whole bunch of awesome stuff happening, but a couple of my friends are working on a show called Beowulf, so that has absolutely nothing to do with DC Comics, so I'm going to do a separate video for that. So that should post in the next day or two, just explaining what's going on. It'll be a Saturday show, so we'll worry about that on Saturday. So a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's going to be really fun trying to do Easter eggs for all these episodes, just because there's so much stuff packed in. But while you guys wait for my next video to post, you can click here for the Suicide Squad trailer video and the Wonder Woman trailer that I just posted, and you can click here for this week's Flash and Arrow episodes. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.
Okay, cool.
okay, you did like that?
Yeah, I did. Did you want me to get off the stream? Because it's already said. Bye, you guys. The stream tomorrow, I promise.